What's up, family? Man, missed you guys. Man, I don't know why I'm smiling, but man, I was hanging out with a young man the other day, an elderly guy, and we were walking to grab something to eat, and happened to see this young lady across the street. She had some like real short shorts, right? And a little like halter top shirt. Um, and it appeared as though she was on the phone because she was talking. And so this guy was talking to me. It's like, man, look at her. She's bad. And we'll do, man, what I would do with that. Man, I'm going to tear that up. Man, I would wear that out. Man, her man's lucky. And man, look at that. Da, da, da. And he's just going on one, right? Just looking at her body and his mind's just gone, right? This guy's in his 60s. His mind's gone. He's just fascinated by this young lady and just mesmerized by her body, and all he could think about is how much fun he can have with her. You know what I mean? And man, how lucky her man has to be, because man, she has a body. And so I'm just looking at him, just shaking my head, and we just go into the store, we get what we get, we come back out, and we walk up towards the beach, and we're just chopping it up, right? Long story short, we see the young lady, she's sitting over on the bench, and she got on the same clothes and everything, and she's just talking. And again, it appears as though she's talking on the phone. And so we start really watching her. And we notice, man, she's not talking on the phone. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. She's not on the phone at all. Her mind's gone. She's not there. She's emotionally disturbed. And when you look at her, she don't look like she would be emotionally disturbed. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. She don't look like she would be, messed up in the head. That, man, something's wrong with her. Whether it's the dope, whatever it is, something's obviously wrong with this young lady. She's now carrying on the conversation, talking about the devil and just going on and she's getting louder and louder and louder and louder, and she's drawing a bunch of attention. But she ain't on the phone. She's talking to herself. And everybody's aware of it now. And I look at the guy that I was walking with, and I'm smiling, and he's like, what? I said, look at this. And he's talking about how crazy she is and all this other talk, twisted she is. Now his whole perspective of her is completely changed. And I'm smiling and I'm looking at him, right? And I was like, man, you was ready to wear that out. You was talking about how, man, you would bag and tag that. You would put a rock on that. Man, how lucky her man is. You were so fixated on this young lady, man, you were ready to commit to her. You had no idea that she was disturbed this way. You hadn't even talked to her, and all you did was just looked at her, lusted after her, and you was ready to commit. All you did was look at her body. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. You looked at her body, and you determined that she was a keeper. Just by looking at her body, she was a keeper. Just by looking at her body, you determined that the guy she was on the phone with, you thought she was on the phone with, was the luckiest guy. Her man was lucky. That's what you said. This is what I'm talking to him. And he was like, man, I didn't know, and da. I said, you know what? That's the story with the great majority of us. We didn't know. We don't know. And they're like, man, well, I could still help her and I could fix her. And you could fix her? And he looked at me. I said, bro, you can't fix your motherfucking self. How the fuck you gonna fix her? You don't even know what the fuck wrong with her. You ain't even resolved your own fucking issues. You can't get out your own fucking way. How the fuck you gonna help her get out her way? How are you gonna help her deal with her demons and you ain't resolved your own fucking demons? And he looked at me. He's like, that's why I hate you, Ammi, right? And I just started laughing at him. I said, bro, this is what we as guys do all the time. This is what women do so much. We as humans, this is what we do. We see people that we're attracted to, and we get this narrative in our mind of who we think they are, and we create this whole big story of who this person is and how they are. And we have no fucking clue of the damage they've suffered emotionally. We have no clue of what's wrong with them emotionally or spiritually. We're not even concerned with that shit. The real talk, the truth be told, we just, man, she look good, man, he look good. She was extremely clean. She didn't look dirty at all. She looked well kept. If you looked at her, you would never have thought. You would have never imagined that her mind was gone. You couldn't tell that her mind was gone just by looking at her. She wasn't dirty. She wasn't grimy looking. Her hair wasn't messed up. Her clothes were clean. But her mind was gone. She looked good, but she was gone. Why am I talking about that? Because this is the mistake that so many of us make. We jump into situations not even having the full story. We jump into situations not having the complete picture. And we're thinking, man, well, it is what it is. Man, I can help it and I can fix this, and I can deal with this, and I'll tolerate this and I'll tolerate that, and I'll deal with this person's this and this and that. And the truth is, no, you're not. No, you can't. You're not really qualified to deal with their stuff. You don't even understand the magnitude of their stuff. Because you don't even understand the magnitude of your own stuff. You've been carrying your stuff around with you forever, and you never really learned to understand it. You never really grasped it. You never really came to grips with it. You never really resolved it and moved beyond it. You just been carrying your shit around with you for life. And you don't even understand why you are the way you are. So how the hell are you gonna fix somebody else? How the hell are you gonna help them understand them and you can't even understand you? And then we get mad and get hurt when their stuff rubs off on us. Then we get mad and we become a fucking victim when their pain and their trauma now impacts our lives, affects our life. There's so many women that have gotten with guys because, man, they look good. Man, they had a sad story or whatever the case may be. Or guys got with young ladies and, man, she's trying to get her stuff together and whoop-doo-doo-whoop. Her man dogged her out and da-da-da-da-da. Her baby daddy mistreated her. Her husband mistreated her. Whoop-doo-doo-whoop. And, man, we feel sorry for them. We're compassionate. Man, we're generous and we're trying to give and help and whoop-doo-doo. And before it's all over, before it's done and over with, we've been reeled in like a fucking fish on a line, and we're fucking stuck. And now we're mad. Now we're angry. Now we feel used and abused. Now we feel like we've been dogged out. Now we're the victims of their craziness. We're the victims of their bullshit. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. It's not your job to fix anybody else. It's not your job to heal anybody else. It's your job to heal your motherfucking self. That's it. Heal yourself. And just show people that, man, if they're willing to do the work, they can heal themselves too. If they're willing to do the shadow work, if they're willing to dive deep into their subconscious mind, if they're willing to push past their fears and their insecurities and their pain and their rejection and their abandonment and their hate and their low self-esteem and their self-sabotaging natures and all this other, if they're willing to deal with that stuff, they can heal themselves too. But it is not your job to fix them. It is not your job to make them whole. You can't do it. You weren't created to do it. It's not your purpose. It's not your job. It's not your responsibility. It's your job to fix you. Don't get distracted thinking, well, they're worse off than me, and so what they're telling me help them. No, you just missed it. You missed it. You about to get fucked up. You know what I mean? You about to get tied up in some shit you may not be able to get out of. Pump your brakes. I don't care how good they look. I don't give a damn how great their mouthpiece is. It don't matter the stories they tell you. You had better make sure that you were in alignment with God and Source. Man, God, what am I supposed to say to this person? Am I supposed to say anything to this person? I'm sorry, I'm tripping. Am I supposed to say anything to this person? What's going on? Should I just pray for this person? Or do you want me to talk to this person? And if you want me to talk to this person, what am I supposed to say? Am I supposed to just sit there and listen to them? See, the problem is so many of us, we think we know everything. We think we have everything figured out. That we don't even consult Source. We don't even ask God. We just running off what we think we know. And that's how we keep messing up. And that's how we end up messing up other people. That's how we end up hurting other people. We don't help them. We hurt them more in the process of trying to help them. Let me say it again. We hurt them more in the process of trying to help them. Because it was never your role. You never connected to Source. You never got guidance. You never got the direction to do that. Your ego directed you to do that. Because you were thinking sexually. Your ego directed you to do that. Because you thought you were smarter than what you really were. You thought you were deeper than what you really are. And so now you're getting ready to get caught up. Now you're getting ready to get dogged out. Now you're getting ready to get schooled. So that you can humble yourself. So that you can learn a lesson. So that you can stop jumping to conclusions. So you could just stop looking at people based on how they look and coming up with these stories, these grand stories of what you want to do with them and what they have to offer just by how they look. Just by how they look. There's been so many women that have gotten their hearts broke. There's so many women that's gotten dogged out. So many guys that's gotten their hearts broken too. By hooking up with women based on how they look. Man, my hope and prayer is that we grow up. We grow up. When you're a kid, that's okay. Do what kids do. But when you become a man, when you become a woman, man, you got to put away those childish ways of thinking. Man, I love you guys. Namaste. The God in me sees, recognizes, acknowledges, and cherishes the God in you. Happy healing. Peace.